Well, this is Michael's beautiful new Wanderlodge. He just purchased it, and while I don't know exactly what he paid for it, I do know it was for sale for over $50,000. And he instantly knew he was going to come here and spend another $15,000 to $20,000 investment into getting the bus back to usable condition. It suffers from sitting from a long time, had very old rubber on it, so he's got new tires all around, new airbags, new shocks. We're going through the brakes, replacing all the coolant hoses on the engine. The Achilles heel of these Wanderlodges, they put these hoses in that go, cooling hoses that go to the air compressor from the engine. It runs coolant through them, and they run right by exhaust manifold, and they cook out, and it's something you really need to keep an eye on, and we're going to replace those too, which is very difficult to do. But he knew going into it, you know, you pay that kind of premium price for an RV, and then you're still going to get into it with a lot of maintenance costs. The deferred maintenance has been put off for years and years and years. So we'll kind of show you what we're getting into, but this is a lot of hard work going on this bus right now. So this is a 1988 model, and in 2005 it went through a pretty major retrofit where a company went in and they added this slide, and they did a full remodel of the interior and all kinds of craziness. So the original plans and everything that we have for the Wanderlodge, lots of things have been changed on it too. So it's not as easy as just looking at the book for something, because there's been many alterations. Even the electrical system and things we had to track down were completely different. Plumbing is completely different. And we've been helping them with the RV side of things too, because it wasn't winterized properly, we believe. There was busted pipes and all kinds of nastiness going on. So it's definitely been a challenge, but there was a lot of money invested in this specific model to have that slide put in and everything. I think it was close to $100,000 just in that alone. But it is a beautiful, beautiful coach. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Surfshark is the VPN that we use. If you're not familiar with a VPN, it's great for protecting your online privacy, as well as being able to access certain benefits that aren't available to you depending on your geographic location. So if you sign up for Surfshark using our special code BGM, that will get you 83% off of the regular price plus 3 extra months for free. So online banking is something I'm very concerned about. I love having the fact that we have the VPN feature turned on our cell phones. You can do it on your computer and other applications. It just protects you from having that information stolen while you're using the internet. We use a lot of public Wi-Fi when we're not here on our property. I haven't been in a bank except for to open or close an account. That's the only reason I ever go. So online banking is everything to us, and it's very important to keep our data secure. It's really easy in the app if you happen to travel or be able to travel that you can choose a different location than you're actually in, so you can still watch some of your favorite TV shows and things like that. It's real easy to choose that through the app. If you click the link in the description or in the pinned comment, you get the extra special deal of the 83% off plus 3 months for free. So we're working on a bunch of RV side of things. He just bought this bus a few days ago. On the way here, he had a blowout of this tag. He went and got new tires put on. He already had the tires purchased and he had them ready to put on, but he needed to get to the area here to get them. But the tag blew and it just destroyed this compartment here, the electrical compartment. We were able to get the panel out. When we plugged them into shore power, we had no power. We were plugging into the 30 amp circuits and nothing was happening. We traced it to the transfer switch, no power. We traced it to the fuse box, no power. Ended up thinking, I just started thinking, well, maybe because they've changed from what the book says and what they had a manual transfer switch. Somebody went to an automatic transfer switch. So I thought that if they did that, well, maybe they didn't use this 30 amp anymore. Maybe they only wired it for the 50 amp. And once we went to the 50 amp plug with we have 30 amp power here, and then we adapted it to 30 amp, then we now have power in the RV. So we still got to get this panel all fixed up because it's bent up from the tire. But we do have power for him now. He doesn't have RV water yet. We got to fix that. There's a bunch of leaks. It wasn't winterized properly at some point, so we've got to go through and find all the leaks. We tried to get the leveling hydraulics down to test them out, and they won't retract now. So they're down, but they won't retract. And we're making progress on that slowly. Got to get this compartment rebuilt. The box is very deformed in there, as you can see how bent this is from the spare tire when it hit it and whacked everything. So we're gonna have to cut the metal out, cut it out in there on the bottom. We'll straighten out this plate and then we'll get it mounted and the new steel up in there. It's real tough stuff. We were using this Porta-Power jaws to get in there and separate the box and try to start forming it back to a square. But that stuff's so strong that we were maxing out the porta power. It's 10 tons. It just wouldn't do it. So then we got into the water system on the inside, and the water fill smartly is right directly above this electrical compartment. Well, right on the other side of this fill, it was leaking severely down in through the electrical compartment. We finally figured out we could bypass that, and we filled the tank from the inside. We took the vent hose and directly filled into the air tank on the inside of the, or into the water tank on the inside of the bus. So then we had water. Then we turned on the water pump. Nothing happened. We could hear the pump running, but there was no pressure, nothing was sucking through. I took off the ends of the water pump. There was no suction on it whatsoever, so we pulled it out. He had a spare water pump with him. So we put the new water pump in. As soon as we did that, the system pressurized, and an entire gusher full of water came shooting out of this thing on the back side of it. It was literally flowing a river out of this compartment right here, just water running down the side. So we got in there. The plumbing in there, multiple times, it was copper, and then it went to PEX. And when they went to PEX, they just put a PEX fitting on there and sweated it onto the copper. This isn't 1/2 inch, it's not 3/8, it's a weird size. So there was nothing we could get at the hardware store to do it. So we ended up just going to PEX. So we went with this PEX everywhere. We pulled out the broken lines out. There was 2 broken lines in there that we replaced. We fixed the fitting. We put a check valve in the system, because no matter what we did, the way that it's plumbed, once you have the water pump on, it puts pressure back towards this. I think this thing is probably supposed to be its own check valve, and maybe it's bad. So we put a check valve in the line. We ordered a new one of these, but it won't be here for a couple days. This isn't something we could get at the hardware store. We needed to get everything set up here for him to be able to live in the bus. You know, they just bought this a few days ago, and him and his daughter are staying in it while we're working on it. So we had to get the RV side of things livable, where they could flush a toilet and take a shower and that kind of stuff. So we do have that now. Jerry helped us out all day yesterday, and he's going to help us out again today. We got a massive shipment of parts in. We ordered parts ahead of time. We have 6 new Koni shocks. We have 12 new airbags that are all going on here. So we got our work cut out for us. We're going to pull the front up today, lift it up, pull the wheels off of it, pull the hubs, check the brakes, bearings, and replace the airbags and shocks on the front. Hopefully we'll get that all done today. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, so we just jacked up this front wheel. The biggest problem we're going to have here this week is this Wanderlodge has a slide. I guarantee you that we're going to, hang on Tyler, I guarantee you we're going to be nailing our head on this corner of this slide multiple times this week. I'm going to... Don't bang your head or your back. Especially your shoulder right there. That's a nice fit. It's sitting on both sides. There you go. Round peg, square hole, but you got it.
Yeah. With the slide on top.
Yeah. Oh, and I just backed into a door. Go slow.
Can I put this on the back of the truck?
Yes.
Try a new one. Okay.
So lift up on the tool and it'll come up. There you go. Now pull it.
Except it's not going to fit out of the fender well.
Now you got to twist it sideways.
Without scratching the paint job, obviously.
And now you're giving up on the tool because it's more a hindrance than a...
Yeah. I want to...
It doesn't work perfectly in every situation. I would help you, but it's too fun to just watch.
Oh, thank you.
So those are not Wanderlodge original fenders? Or
No, they're not.
Okay. That's okay. Good job, Jerry.
Yeah, extra points for that.
Pretty good for free help. nice. I got a little parts thing here for you. Can you hold that tray up under there at all, or no? There's no way to do it where it's not gonna.
Oh, but I'm gonna need to get a dead blower or something.
We were gonna drain it through this. Usually there's a drain hole there, but they're sealed up solid, so there's no drain on this one. Yeah, this bus last had a. Oh, nice. That couldn't have worked any better for making a mess.
No, do we have some rags?
Where are they?
In the back of the golf cart, I believe.
Well,
I don't see any obvious metal.
I see a little bit, but nothing crazy. Couple little flakes.
I'm saying you Wanderlodge guys got front small bearings. Front driver's side, we can see that wheel seal was just starting to leak a little bit, so we're going to get in there and replace that. Initial brake inspection, they look really good. Not seeing any unusual wear or anything. No dirt or grease on them specifically, so we'll just get them cleaned up, put back on.
That should
Make sure it's set to loosen because I had it on the others.
Jerry, by the way, the iced tea is in here.
Oh yeah.
And if you like tater tots, there's tater.
No, that's good.
Okay. My daughter said the same damn thing to me. It's about there.
That's probably close.
Now, I remember seeing you all talk about that. So,
It doesn't go on tight. There has to be a little bit of free play in there, and you have to have just the right amount of free play where it's not too loose but not too tight. And it's always safer to have it just a hair loose than too tight.
too tight
Why
to
is
wipe
that?
out a set of bearings.
It'll wipe out. Yeah, if it's too tight, it ruins the bearings. The bearings get squeezed in there too tight against the races. They're made to make a nice smooth surface for everything to roll on and have just the right amount of tension where it's not too.
This gear oil smells like it's been worn.
It's a weird color, that's for sure.
What's a weird color?
Your gear oil is coming out of. Careful the bearing doesn't.
Okay, so now the people I bought this from, they had this guy who has a truck. He has these construction, I don't know, gravel, sand, whatever he does. And he was only supposedly maintaining this.
I don't see any deep grooves from here, but I do see some wear.
Yeah. Would have blown shortly, eh?
That airbag is done. We're replacing everything. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I'm trying my phone.
Wasn't your head, was it?
No, I hit my hand on there somehow. Wheel bearings look great. Everything's nice and clean, clear, no scratches. We're replacing both wheel seals and this button in this front all back up here.
On that one?
Doesn't fit.
No. Brakes are in the way.
Okay, Jerry's gonna try and pry that Coney shock off of there.
It's not too bad. That long ratchet was just flexing, getting that top bolt off.
You need a bigger pry bar, Jerry?
Yeah, probably would do.
You also can't just judge by the fact that they look clean that they're not bad, because at some point they might have been dirty and somebody just washed them up, and then they'll never show the oil again. That's definitely original though. Nobody's ever changed that.
Probably 10 years.
It'll thread off now.
Battery powered impacts have actually gotten to a point where they make real power.
Oops.
So,
Now we gotta get that back bushing.
when I live in Chicago,
See? Smarter Jerry.
And that shock is definitely blown. As you can see, the oil on the bottom half of it. In out. That's the yeah. That's the really bad. Sing us a song while you do it.
Oh no, you don't want me to sing. Thank you though.
Leroy's getting ready to go to the vet. Hey, buddy. Chauffeur.
Look at him. His legs on the outside of the back seat thing. He's caught in that.
Now he's got a seatbelt on. See you later.
Bye, Dad.
Have fun, Mr. Chauffeur.
He's not happy with me.
Gonna go get a shot. And your ears clean.
Your nails cut.
He looks so funny in there.
Bye.
Bye. Much harder to pull out than the other one. Did you get the right length?
Yep. It's trying to kill me.
can you hand me the other one?
That flashlight is trying to kill me.
What size that was?
No, 3/4.
So this hose is leaking and it's cracked, and you can see these big areas of wear through the hoses. Definitely need to be replaced. That's for the generator up front, diesel generator. Jerry is currently tucked up under the bus. No clearance. Tyler's over there too. You can't see him.
Which one are you looking for? A flashlight.
I definitely see some liquid there.
Okay.
Jerry has become one with the bus.
That's one way to say it.
He is up in the hole, putting the last air fitting on the airbag. He found a leak in there though. We're trying to figure out what it is. I think maybe it's a fuel line that runs to the generator.
I just cleaned your concrete pad. Success.
The front end is done, other than we're replacing 2 brake hoses and then putting the hubs and new seals back on. But the airbags and shocks are all done on both sides. Okay, we're all going after the tag here, the passenger side tag. Tyler and Jerry are working on the airbag. I'm working on pulling the hub off and getting the brake drum and the shock there. And Jerry, of course, is back up under the bus somewhere.
Relaxing.
He gets to lay down on the job.
Laying out on the job.
This is the tag axle passenger side brake drum, and I'm going to say it's not been working. No brake there. Have all that rust and nastiness in there. The tire company did this the other day, broke a stud. And this one over here, I've got it loose, but man, I'm fighting it just to turn it. It's crazy tight. So obviously it's cross-threaded or something. So we're trying to use this torque multiplier here, and man, it's a fight even with that. I wouldn't be surprised if that torque multiplier breaks. Broke the stud. Hold out today, that's in the 40s. This is our buddy Jerry's Wanderlodge. Jerry came in for some engine issues that were tearing into. We diagnosed it. We'll have a video of it coming up pretty soon. But a couple days after Jerry got here, Michael came in with his Wanderlodge, which you'll see in just a minute. Jerry's been helping us on Michael's bus. He decided just to put his on hold for a few days while we could help Michael get his bus done in and out of here. And then we'll get back to Jerry's. So he's been a great volunteer, put in a lot of hard work for us, and I really appreciate it. But you'll see how much work he's been putting into the new project. May not look like much, but that was a lot of work right there. We got that all done yesterday. All those airbags, shocks. So just give you an update where we're at. This hub is in good shape. There were some issues with the brakes that we're working on, getting everything cleaned up. That airbag is on. Shock is on, Coney shock. That hub looks good. We're gonna clean the bearings and then put new seals in it. This one looked good. Put a new hub seal in it. Bearings look good. Shocks, airbags, all good there. Same thing on this side. Hub seals, clean everything. Bearings look good. Adjust them. New airbags, new shock. And then this one back here, the only thing we have left, the airbag's on. We're replacing the shock still. We have the new Coney shock right here, new seal, and also doing some work on the brakes there. Go. Back it off. We'll be filling the parts washer with some diesel here this morning. That's a steel inner with an aluminum outer. Same thing there. Same thing there. Tire shop guy got mad at me because the left-hand side they broke a stud, and I said they were probably spinning it the wrong way because they deal with this kind of stuff all week long, but they should have known not to put that back on there. That's 3 of them that they did that are wrong. I don't think this could have been put on any worse. It's completely pulled tight as far as it'll go. This shock.
Oh, okay. That helps bounce around.
I'm gonna do the suspension dump now.
Okay.
Now I hear a little hissing.
It's probably your front. The tag is still loaded. Now your airbags are inflating back here. They got tight, right?
Yeah.
That's the dump. The tag won't dump?
I've got them both on dump.
The tag is hard as a rock. Well, maybe not quite as hard as a rock because I punched it. It's pretty hard. Michael is trying to remove the airbag. He's actually removing it. I don't know. That was a perfectly clean white shirt when he went under there. Never to be the same. Still had the tags on it.
Well, now it's a bus shirt.
But he succeeded in removing an airbag.
And airbag. Out of how many?
We've only got 3 left on the entire bus.